Basically, I'm in a good mood this morning. Let me first get things started. God is good all the time. Once again, I repeat that just to piss off liberals and Democrats. God is good all the time. So let that give you a headache. Anyway, this week has been really exciting, and I have had a whole lot of fun. And the only thing that messed up my week was Fauci's emails being released, and we finding out for a year or plus or whatever, we've been listening to junk science. That's what it is. Common sense dictates on this one. And guess who had to try to bail his dumb ass out? Once again, Sleepy Joe. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden hasn't even read the emails. And if he was even briefed on exactly what those emails contain, you in your right mind, if he was to have a right mind, let's get that point clear, you would be not only firing Fauci, but you would be asking for a criminal investigation and telling every single state out there, including whatever actions that was taken by the federal government, that we need to rescind any fine, penalty, or punishment out there in regards to this junk science. That's what they do in court. You find out that the doctor is not qualified, or the doctor has committed an act of fraud or gave out misleading testimony, then you dismiss it. You make sure nothing that came from it is like the fruit from the poisonous tree. You make sure anything that came from that tree that was poisonous never can be used against anybody. And it's funny, none of these stupid Democratic governors that came out with it, because they all was part of the deep state scheme. That's what it was all about getting money. One thing you can say about this pandemic, a lot of people got paid money that shouldn't have. And that money went towards things that had nothing to do with the pandemic or anything to do with America and its citizens. And they should be ashamed of themselves. Period. But as much as I like to get into the negative, we all heard about Fauci bullshit, and let's make it clear, common sense should have dictated a long time ago. You telling me we have millions of PhDs, masters, and if you look at it from a global aspect, you're saying none of these smart asses, the people with the degree, to study whether in America or abroad, none of y'all had common sense, or y'all was really telling the truth, and it's going to be explosive on how many people let Mr. Fauci and the rest of them idiots know that your junk science is junk science, and nobody should trust your science. They should really trust the real experts out there. That's called common sense at that point, because you can't trust anything this dude says. And Joe Biden lets you know how incompetent he is. Oh, I fully trust Fauci. I'm like, shut the hell up. Seriously, people lost their whole life savings, their businesses, the roof over their head and everything else, and you still trying to be on that crack. That's what a crackhead does. They just, doesn't matter what, when and how. When they need a fix or whatever, they're going to do and say whatever. That's the comparison to get their crack. And that's exactly what's happening. Hunter Biden might as well just go over to the White House and say, hey, here's some more crack, Dad, shut up. Now, the reason why this week is a little bit different, because y'all know I've been getting on Glenn Youngkin's ass over the election integrity thing and not holding back, really. But overall, he came back with a good speech, I can say that part. And I had a lot of fun at Eagles Nest, to be honest with you. When the big three showed up, it was him, Sears, of course, Mieres. Hopefully I pronounced his name right, out of all due respect. And it was a bunch of new candidates out there that was running for Virginia House of Delegates seats. And some of these seats, there hasn't been a Republican contesting a Democrat in over a decade. So that really, really made me happy all the way across the board. But my major thing for going to that big three was to hear Glenn Youngkin speak, because I already heard the others, and honestly, I was hoping I wasn't going to fall asleep this time. But the good thing is, it wasn't the whole field of candidates. Now, of course, it's the nominees at this time period. So, I get there, and it was as cordial as ever for me arriving, and Glenn Youngkin's team, or staffers, volunteers, it was like out of huge respect for me being there. And not only that, they showed me a whole lot of love. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. They made sure, even though I wasn't planning to be involved, I ended up being somewhat involved in this whole thing. But regardless of the situation, I was there for election integrity, damn it. That wasn't off my mind one bit. So I get Absolute and Red Bull because I see the other Republicans drinking. Yes, I did. And at this time frame, I need to wake up because I already had to be up early in the morning to go by the Republican breakfast in Virginia Beach to see what's going on. I'm trying to be more active locally due to the fact we had that CRT and all that other crap going on, and getting the troops ready and find out who's real and who's fake and who's talking and who's about action. You know, I don't deal with people if you ain't acting, like talking about it, because to me, you're just talking. So regardless of the situation, each speech was different this time frame. I was engaged, I was attentive, and I was even excited. Normally, some speeches I'm like, all right, these was great speeches that really will resonate for dinner table issues. And I can say Miez did a great job starting it up, getting the heat and the temperature in the building, you know, at 100 degrees. Winston Sears came in, did it at 120 degrees, and I saw something different in Glenn Youngkin. Maybe he got the memo, but he wasn't a politician when he was speaking this time frame. This time frame, I felt his heart and his soul engaged, and not only with the crowd, but he was speaking like he was speaking to the rest of Virginia in this building and putting himself on the line. I thought he was going to throw some tables, and how fired up he was for that speech. And he addressed directly election integrity is still on the agenda. Now, that answers my question about the fact, are you considering Biden a legitimate president, or are you saying there is legitimate questions about how Biden got elected? And I think he cleared up that part of the questions is about how Biden got elected, whether it was cheating, and whether fraud existed to the point it affected not only one race, but affected races all over the country. And I feel confident that it is going to be an audit in Virginia if he's elected. And that's what people want. No matter if you're Democrat or Republican, you want to make sure American citizens, Virginia citizens, are the ones responsible for electing their leadership. Another country should not be doing it at all, period. I'm like, look at this situation as your future, because it is your future, and who designs the roadmap to you getting to your goals and making sure your children has the promises and guarantees that every American is supposed to have, that does the American dream and does it well. Let's be honest. And plus, we look better as Republicans than Democrats. Let me repeat that. Honestly, you know, we dress good, we talk good, we act good. It's jealousy. Let's be honest. There's a lot of jealousy from the Democrats over Republicans. And, you know, that's just what happens. And then, realistically, that's why they can't cope with the fact that they've been lied to. You know, and now they're finding out they have a party they want to go to. They're just worried about telling their family and friends, and they're just trying to, you know, work on them a little bit to see if it's the right time to come out. You know, come out the closet and say, hey, I'm a Republican. I don't believe that Democratic bullshit anymore. You know, it is what it is. And sometimes you just need to get it out the way. Because the longer you hold that in, that you're a Republican and you're around some pieces of trash, or they are dealing with being lied to and don't want to wake up to the truth, you sometimes got to be the truth in the building. That's leadership, regardless of the situation, and tell them exactly why you're a Republican. I'm a Republican because I'm paying too much at the gas pump. I'm a Republican because I'm paying too much at the grocery store. I'm a Republican because I want a business that they can't shut down anytime frame they got a junk science doctor that decides on the world should be closed and God should be canceled. I was getting ready to say a cuss word, but I caught myself on that one because I really wanted to just say F Fauci, and regardless of how you want to say that F word is. But I was impressed. That means a lot of people are impressed moving forward that we have a great chance in November. And Democrats, like I said, have their backs against the wall, and that's exactly where they're supposed to be. But there's some damn cockroaches, I can tell you that. You can step on it, but you gotta make sure you squish the cockroach, or it's gonna keep running around and adding more cockroaches. And we don't need any more Democrats or Marxists or socialists or dumbasses like Lee Carter, who says that traffic stops should be done with police having no firearm but just a taser. Let his ass do the traffic stops. But in general, Republicans, I can say this one, has a great sense of humor. Me, I have an extremely great sense of humor. And when certain Republicans get around me, like Andrea Porter, or I'm making fun of Mara Lee because she's having fun out there in wherever part of the country she's in, and the rest, we love to have a good time. We like to joke around, period. And we get along because of it. It just reminds us that we don't have to be as serious. And they know I'm the Republican badass. And all they doing is just saying, hey, brother, you know, have some fun with us. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to keep whooping ass all over the country. I understand that. But at the time frame, they do understand that sometimes I got to put foot to liberals, and it's necessary. Because you can't be this stupid. What else can we do? We have tried to talk until we blew in the face. The reality is, Democrats are switching to Republicans because they are dealing with the reality that they can't justify. And the people around them are not wise enough or have the knowledge base of what Biden's doing or whatever to explain it. So at that time frame, BS, it wasn't happening under President Trump, regardless of his personality. Money by spending more on the basic stuff that I need to get. That means I'm more. And now I have a party who's trying to get rid of taxes, while I got a party that's trying to increase taxes, and it's going to other countries. It's not going to the American people. You could drive past the Greyhounds or on the public streets and see people sleeping on the streets that used to have a roof over their head. You ask them over and over again why you're in this situation, because they closed down the have nowhere else to work, and for a year you told me I shouldn't go to work, I should stay at home, and now this is my new home. Reality. Truth is truth no matter who says it. Period. So next week I'm going to be very hard to get in touch with. Very hard. Next week is a great week for Merle Rutledge, because To Make Up the Truth series comes back. And I know the South Side have been waiting for it. And it deals with the murder of Floyd Crider, which deals with everything that's connected to it. All the players, whether Journey Sneed, Gloria Crider, Stephanie Sneed, all the crime families, drug cartels, all that crap and stuff like that. Ugh, I love being in the middle of all that crap and getting rid of the pieces of crap. And this is the second piece of trash that needs to go. So I'm going to be reporting every single day how the trial goes, how I feel about how the defense is handling things and the prosecution. And hopefully we don't have any more stupidity out there. I just like when I get to these areas, people want to be a celebrity. Everybody want to be a part of the show, get their name mentioned. I don't give a damn about y'all. I'm there for justice. That's it. Justice and making sure I keep my promise. I said I was going to be there every single day of those trials for anybody connected in that BS. This is opiate addiction, seizures, suicides, crack, heroin, prostitution, blackmail, extortion. All of this crap is all connected in these cases, and killing and more. I'm like, nah, some people need to be locked up, period. And I'm glad I did what I had to do that was necessary to get to the truth. And them punks and them pieces of crap lost their insurance money and all this other stuff. Of course it's a good thing. Then they got to see my face again for another 5 days. And the other piece of trash, Stephanie Sneed, is going to be walking into the courtroom in shackles and prison guard, looking stupid once again, and still blaming me for her being locked up. Nothing to do with responsibility for the fact there's 2 people dead and you in the middle of it, and these idiots are protecting you. But I'm like, oh well, another piece of trash, and then we could deal with you. So I'm going to be enjoying the testimony. I'm going to be under my best behavior. Yes, I will, unless somebody acts up. And that's one of the things you just don't do with Merle Rutledge. I'm there just to watch the case and make sure I get video after that piece of trash is convicted of them getting in the police car and heading to prison for their final time. And then we have one leftover piece of trash. This is going to be a good week, people. Good week. And it was even better to see Republicans, and I'll get to that point, just having fun, having a good time, and actually getting some substance, getting some policy decisions that's much needed. And I feel like we're in a good position right now to do it this time for November, But now it's about expanding out there. I'm waiting for them to get very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. If they start getting very uncomfortable and rising to the occasion, we're going to beat Democrats anywhere in the state. And also, I'm going to be putting a lot of attention to Hampton and Newport News. One of the people who I'm talking about that's running for a seat, first time in over a decade against a Democrat, I'm going to be out there helping him, getting some doors open, and getting those conversations flowing. People need to know we got to get back to work. And we need to also make sure we have confident leadership moving forward that doesn't believe in junk science. So, I want to tell everybody, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Be locked and loaded. Be ready just in case an active shooter decides to pop off or whatever you have to do to defend yourself and your family. We live in a different type of world. I'm not going to kid you. Stay blessed. God bless you. God bless America. And oh, hell yeah.